Hey everybody, this is Gerard coming to you live from Virginia Beach, and I'm gonna start doing daily recording, and we're gonna start having guests. Some of the people that are on our team in the business, we're gonna have them heading up calls and talking about what keeps them going. Because you have to understand this business we're in it's for the long haul. There's a few of us. There's people in there. You hear all the success stories of people getting in, making rank really fast, and it is doable, but it's not working for some of us, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. There's just things that we have to get to in advance to even get to the system that works, which is consistency within ourselves. Some people that are point in their professional lives or their careers where that's easy for them, and other people, they don't realize how much their life is revolved around consistencies, and now they're trying to change their habits. So what we're trying to do now is we're just trying to create more of a team atmosphere, to give everybody that energy, and it's something I like to call star power, because whenever we're around our group, you automatically have the energy. There is no down like you might have been early in the morning, or even before you got there. You're around the people that you like to see, you have fun with, and you hope to make money with. So whenever I'm around the team, it always just boosts my energy up, and it doesn't matter what I got going on. I'm just there. And if it's not something that's supremely important, I don't ever miss. It's just important to be there and to get that fellowship. And then even then, making dates outside of just that Thursday to get together, So a few of us talked, and we're going to go ahead and start meeting on Saturday mornings. I would say about 9 a.m., which we need to get there and be on time. And we're going to listen to the calls over at Al's, and then after we get off the calls, I believe they're only half an hour, we'll talk about the calls, take a break, and then we'll go into role play and start learning how to frame, in PPP, and get all that situated. So that way, we need more live training. We need consistency in our training. If you're not role playing with someone, you should just be trying, the moves. It's almost like I kind of relate it to martial arts. These guys train in all different disciplines, and now these guys have this thing where they can use whatever discipline they like. So every situation doesn't call for a hammer. Some situations do, and it's all about getting a bag of tools and just knowing what tools to pull out at the right time. And by doing so, you help people. You feel good about yourself. You like what you do, and then on top of that, when you develop the right habits, you'll make a lot of money doing it. And that's where we're all at. So what we're trying to do now is just come together as a group and build some consistency. And I think once we do that, we'll be right back on top. The more time we get to spend with each other, the easier it is to be in that mode. Like Don says all the time, we're a voluntary army. It's all voluntary, but for those who know, who really want it, they know it's not voluntary. Once you sign up, you've made the commitment. So just to keep it short, keep working on the peak, presenting and passing. You got to realize, we're used to always be closing. We're used to, Al was telling me earlier, he said he got to switch his mentality, but, Al's tough and he's going to get it done. And the more we get together, the easier it's going to be for both of us, because I have the same mentality, but he's a good salesman. But now it's always be leaving. Find a way to push him away. You got, it's, they used to say all the time, be the cat. And I'm like, all right. And then you don't realize that you're not being the cat until you sit back and think about what a cat does. We're always just hopping on somebody, You gotta kind of let people go. You gotta be normal. It's hard. You want to help people, but if you don't get trained, you'll keep getting frustrated because you're not going to get the results you want. And some of it has to be done on your own, because it is a business, and we're all in business for ourselves. But having camaraderie and having the energy of the team all in one place, the Mastermind Alliance, from all my readings of Napoleon Hill, if I can hang out with you guys on a daily basis for 8 hours like it was a real job, oh man, I think we'd all blow up already. But we're trying to take care of what we already have in place on top of adding something new. So you have to make small changes, and I'm reading The Compound Effect now, Got to make small changes, and if you make these small changes, it'll definitely get easier to get there. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and it gets long and grueling, and it gets hard, but it's either that or just giving up and accepting what you got. So that's not even a question for someone like me, and it's not for someone like you. You wouldn't have signed up, or you wouldn't still be here at least. Everybody who's here, they want something, and we can all get it together. So I put this picture up of Dubai because the Dubai trip's coming up. I'm gonna be there. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I don't care what anybody says. That Dubai trip's gonna be awesome because, we need to see that. Al said that earlier. We need to see that, because it helps the vision. It gives us more energy, and I like to say to my guys all the time, we need more star power. So when we get a chance to be around people who like us, be humble and accept it, and take your time, and they'll tell you what they need help with, and then you'll be able to help them. And once you're able to help them in that fashion, instead of the only way we're thinking 9 times out of 10, and I'm guilty, is I can help them save money. And it's just like they all want to save money, but you have to get to the front door first, by trying to get them to straight, save money right away without hearing what their problems are, to an extent, of course. You put yourself in the kitchen and they didn't invite you in yet. So we have to work on it constantly, and I will wrap this up because I want to keep it short. You have to be willing to train. I know you have to be willing to take advantage of the time that you do have to get in some audio. If you can't sit back and read, at least get in some audio on the way to work, on the way home, at least at those times. And if you have time in between, that too. But that's what's going to get you where you got to go. We got all this action out in the field, and people are taking action, and they get tired of taking action because there's no results. But in the whole time they're doing that, they're not training. We have training technically once a week, because open house is a training, whether it's a training attached to it or not. It's an exposure for us and for other people. So it's a training. So we have once a week training, and then outside of that, you're not training. It's like we have to train. So you have to think about that. How much you train, and you got to be accountable for yourself. I'm a shipbuilder, so when people talk to me about these forms, I used to be in inspection. I was a supervisor, and I always had forms to kind of track everything, but it was already set up. It was a business that was set up. All I had to do was get in there and do what they said, and it worked. Now we have to do the same thing, but like I said, we have to be consistent enough in our daily lives to even get to peak and present and passing. The consistency has to come with the training. Consistency has to come with the personal development. Consistency has to come with staying positive. Basically being a leader. We need everybody to be a leader. So take charge. And if everybody doesn't agree with you, don't take it personal. If it works for you, it works for you. But we're all open to new ideas, and everybody has to know that this system is going to be something that's constantly changing. It's going to have to adapt. We have to learn how to adapt. That's the reason why we're here to begin with, because we adapted and the other animals couldn't. We have to learn how to adapt. Times change. Things are changing. You have to be willing to change. We're constantly changing. It's going to be changing. It has to be. It has to have the same principles, but if there's a better way, we're always reading different books. This compound effect is amazing. And Brian had it on his site at least a year ago, and I know I had that register, and I used it a few times. I stopped, and now it's like it makes so much sense. Me, a form guy, made too many forms at one point, but just have that. I know if I get these things done every day, I'm good. Even if it's in a small time frame, don't underestimate 5 minutes. People always say, well, I'll get to the 5 minutes later. Then you're asleep, and you're like, dang, I didn't do it. I'll do it 10 minutes, and it just never happens. But we should be holding each other accountable, like having real accountability partners. And texting is good, but if that's not working, we maybe need to get on the phone. 2 minutes. Frame each other. Always be leaving. Get off the phone. Because if we don't do it with each other, how are we going to do it in the field? People want what we got, but we just, I don't know, we got that doobly insomnia, and it just makes you go crazy. Anyway, can't wait to see everybody. Talk to you later.